What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's world title fight at 135 pounds between the WBC world champion Shakur Stevenson and the WBC interim champion William Zepeda. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? And right now, go down to the bottom of your screen, find the little bell notification button, hit that so you never miss a video. All right, guys, we have another interesting, fascinating week of boxing coming up. We know that the fights start off with the ladies on Friday night on Netflix, headlined by Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, the trilogy. We've already broke down that fight, analysis and prediction. If you haven't caught that fight, it's tagged in this video. Also right now in the comment section, who do you think wins the trilogy? Do you think Serrano's finally gonna get a victory, or will be business as usual for Katie Taylor? But right now, we're gonna break down, analyze, and predict the outcome of Shakur versus Zapeda. This is a very intriguing matchup between two undefeated southpaws. One's 29, one's 28, and the time couldn't be better to see this showdown and clash. Shakur's coming off a recent victory knockout stoppage of Josh Padley, and we last saw Zapeda fight twice against Tevin Farmer, winning both of those fights. So in this video, we're gonna break down both fighters' careers. We're gonna talk a little bit about how they go about their business, what each fighter has to do to become victorious in this fight, and stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. All right, guys, this fight was kind of dangled in front of us for a while now before it got signed, and personally, when I finally saw it was official, I was excited on a few different ends. One, Shakur Stevenson finally getting an opponent who, although he's an interim title, Zepeda, undefeated, wild style, highly aggressive, weaponizes his cardio. Everything that people are going to hate on Shakur about, that really don't like his style, I think those questions are going to get answered. Some false narratives about Shakur Stevenson I want to start off with. People think that he is a runner, but when you watch him fight, he's not a runner. He's a guy who fights off of his front foot. When you look at him when he's at his best, he is world class in all of the little things that if you're just watching the sport from an average eye, you might not be picking up. So when you watch Stevenson, pay attention to his counters, pay attention to his backhand, pay attention to his feints, watch how he controls space and distance, range, watch how he sets things up. He does a lot of the little pieces of the game really well. William Zapeda, on the other hand, he has mastered his style. We know what we get when we see William Zapeda. Like I said, he's gonna be on his front foot. He's a pressure fighter. He uses his cardio to drown his opponents. He has a lot of victories by stoppage, but it's not because he has one punch knockout power. It's because he just drowns you with that volume. So fight fans are intrigued by this matchup. What are we gonna see? How many steps back are we gonna see Shakur take? Will Zepeda's style work against the master counter boxer, the master defensive fighters such as Shakur Stevenson? Only time will tell. Right now, I do want to remind everybody what's at stake this weekend in New York. All right, guys, it'll be a battle between a bull and a matador when the slick southpaw Shakur Stevenson and relentless puncher William Zapeda square off July 12th at the Louis Armstrong Stadium in Queens, New York. The WBC lightweight champion Stevenson is savoring the opportunity to shine against Zapeda, and he's promising a sensational performance that will catapult him into the top 10 of the pound-for-pound rankings. And I quote, "I have a chip on my shoulder. I have something to prove," Stevenson said on DAZN's On the Ground series. "A lot of people are sleeping on me and don't think that I'm that guy that I've been my entire career. July 12th is going to be a statement." Stevenson has won titles at 26 and 30 and beat Jamel Herring, Oscar Valdez, Robson Conceição, and Edwin De Los Santos, but none of the Newark, New Jersey natives' previous encounters can be compared to what the hard-charging Zapeda will bring. "I haven't fought a style like Zapeda since the amateurs," said Stevenson, a 2016 Olympic silver medal winner. "It makes it more interesting and fun for me because it's something new and different. It sounds like a challenge. The thing with guys like Zapeda is that you have to beat their ass. If you don't beat their ass, they're gonna jump on you and stay on top of you the entire time. You have to go out there and get their respect. A lot of people are saying that I'm gonna do to him exactly what I did to Valdez. They don't understand that it's two different styles. Valdez is a pressure fighter who loads up, looking for big shots, but his output is not like Zepeda's. Zepeda is a non-stop puncher. Stevenson is coming off a 9th-round TKO win against late replacement opponent Josh Padley in February, a solid performance that proved his hands are healthy again. Zepeda, meanwhile, went tooth and nail against Tevin Farmer in back-to-back fights. Farmer has since been blasted in one round by Floyd Schofield, who was supposed to face Stevenson before he got sick and allowed Padley to step in. After a series of wins in recent years, Stevenson has a tremendous opportunity to rise to the occasion, especially with bigger plans on the horizon. It takes one night for everyone to think differently of you, said Stevenson. We're going to shine. And guys, with that quote, I look at this matchup between Stevenson and Zepeda in terms of what Stevenson has the opportunity to do, similar to what Hitchens had the opportunity to do against George, and that is go viral with an impressive victory. And that's exactly what we saw Hitchens. It's exactly what we predicted, and it turned out to be accurate. With Shakur Stevenson, he's going to have to be on point with his counterboxing. I think for him to be successful, he's going to have to invest to the body. He's going to have to get Zepeda's timing down right off jump. With Zepeda, he's going to have to actually get Shakur's respect as well. The minute Shakur thinks that he can't be hurt by anything, he's not going to take any steps backwards. And that's what I meant at the beginning of this video, him being a forward front foot fighter, because historically he is. A lot of people judge him off of the Edwin De Los Santos fight, a fight in which he won, but a fight in which he went from his normal offensive game plan and moved a lot more. It was written that he had a hand injury. Make whatever you want about that. The facts are the facts. He did win a fight against De Los Santos, and he's undefeated. So moving forward, it's going to be interesting. We're going to find out a lot about this fight, how they choose to fight, especially from Shakur right off jump. We know Zepeda is going to pressure him. It's just going to be fun to see what Shakur does in that first round. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at William Zepeda and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Zepeda's 33-0 with 27 knockouts out of 2,592 fighters in the world at 135 pounds. He's ranked number 4. He's fought a total career of 160 pro rounds and carries into the ring an 82% career knockout to win ratio. He is the WBC interim world lightweight champion. His adoring fans know him as Cameron, and the 29-year-old Mexican is a 5'9" southpaw with a 69-inch reach. He was born and raised in San Mateo Atenco, Mexico. We last saw him fight Tevin Farmer, 33-7, majority decision in the 12th. Tevin Farmer the first time, 33-6, won a split in the 10th. Gio Cabrera, 22-1, stopped him in the 3rd. Maxie Hughes, 26-6, stopped him in the 4th. Mercito Gesta, 34-3, stopped him in the 6th. With Zepeda, a lot of his haters will kind of be similar in terms of the rhetoric as you hear what they say about Shakur. Zepeda went tooth and nail with a guy like Tevin Farmer. Zepeda got dropped against a guy like Tevin Farmer, not a big puncher. The rounds he spent against Farmer, he's going to be a little less than what he was. But you have to remember, this is a guy who's also undefeated. He's only 29 years old. When you look at the wins against Cabrera and Maxie Hughes, both were by stoppages. You got to say that those were probably some of his most impressive victories in terms of stoppages, even though he did beat Tevin. Some people say both fights could have been contested either way. I disagree. I had Zepeda winning both fights, but I just think they were a lot closer in some fans' eyes that they thought it should be, especially what we saw Kid Schofield do to Tevin as of late that I already mentioned. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the undefeated champion and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Stevenson's 23-0 with 11 knockouts out of 2,592 fighters in the world at 135 pounds. He's ranked number 2. He's fought a career total of 166 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 48% career knockout to win ratio. He is the WBC World Lightweight Champion. The 28-year-old American is a 5'8" southpaw with a 68-inch reach. He was born in Newark, New Jersey, but calls Houston, Texas, USA home. We last saw him fight Padley, 15-0, stopped him in the 9th. Harutnian, 12-1, UD in the 12th. De Los Santos, 16-1, UD in the 12th. Yoshino, 16-0, stopped him in the 6th. Conceição, 17-1, UD in the 12th. And the fights before that, he beat Oscar Valdez and he beat Jamel Herring. The Jamel Herring fight, in my eyes, was my personal favorite fight of Shakur Stevenson. We know that was at 130 pounds. We know he's become a world champion at 126, 130, and 135. Guys, at 28 years old, he's a 3-division world champion. it's interesting for me to sit back and watch as a fan of the sport and a guy who's followed Shakur's career since he's been an amateur, to see these narratives wrapped around him, the pressure the fan bases have put on him, and in my eyes, a lot of negative press that is unwarranted about a 28-year-old undefeated fighter who's as skilled as Shakur Stevenson. Guys, he is not a runner. Watch him fight. I'm not saying this as conjecture. I'm not saying this as shock value clickbait. Watch him fight. He's not a runner. He's a front foot fighter who is a master at counterboxing, who has a master of range and distance, and is a high operator. Can he use the entire ring if he wanted to? Yes, we've seen that against De Los Santos. In this fight, we're going to see, like I said, the most intriguing part, I feel, that will play out the entire narrative of this outcome will happen in that first round. When I look at these fighters side by side, guys, they're both in their prime, 29 and 28. I love that about this fight. Both southpaws, but when you look at their styles, pretty contrasted in terms of what we know each fighter brings to the table, how they go about their business. I said it before, you could call Zepeda one-dimensional, but that isn't supposed to be a negative trait. It's like calling Matias one-dimensional or calling Deontay Wilder one-dimensional, meaning that these fighters have mastered what they're really good at and their opponents know what to expect when they fight them. That being said, I feel Shakur is the more dynamic fighter in terms of skill set. I don't think that that's a shock, and I don't think that's a wild statement. Before I look at the Las Vegas odds and give you my prediction, I do want to mention, guys, if you're new to the channel, I do live streams every day. In those live streams, that's where we go over method of victory, bets, prop bets, over and unders, knockdown parlays, things like that. In this prediction, you're only going to hear my money line prediction. All right, guys, right now let's pull out our betting apps wherever you are in the world. I use Sportsbet here in Sydney, Australia. On the money line, Shakur Stevenson is a $1.11 favorite, meaning you put 100 on Shakur to win, you get your money back plus 11 bucks. The draw's 20 to 1. Zepeda is a 7.75 dog, meaning 100 on him, you get your money back plus 6.75. So going into the fight, Zepeda is close to a 7 to 1 underdog. The odds are the odds for a reason. I think the fight should be a little bit closer, more like a 4 to 1. 7 to 1 is pretty insane to me, considering what Zepeda brings to the table. Awkward, tricky style, but I don't think it's a hard style to figure out. Where I'm leaning on, I fully expect Shakur Stevenson to beat Zepeda. I think he's going to win convincingly. Does he win every single round? I'm not going to just sit here and say he's going to do that. I'm not going to disrespect William Zepeda like that. Does he stop William Zepeda? Guys, I feel if we're looking at method of victories and we're looking at path to victories for both guys, I feel that Shakur Stevenson has a better opportunity, a more likely outcome to stop Zepeda than Zepeda has of beating Shakur. And what I mean by that is, with all the aggression Zepeda shows in his style, and with Shakur's ability to counter and his ability to land accurate punches, I can see Shakur investing in the body early, catching Zepeda coming in, Zepeda getting more and more reckless and more frustrated as the fight goes, and Shakur catching him clean. We'll see if this happens. Like I said, right now, my option, my pick is Shakur on the money line. But as the weekend progresses, stay tuned to the channel. I think there's going to be some value on a stoppage. You guys don't have to agree with me. We've never seen either guy lose, so anything can happen. This isn't an echo chamber. In the comment section below, are we going to see Shakur Stevenson keep his belt? Or are we going to see a turning over of the reign and see a new champion in William Zapeda? Guys, if you haven't seen my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of another interesting fight on this card between Edgar Berlanga and Hamzat Shiraz, stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now.